Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a mediator and business valuation expert in St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we are discussing ESOP and employee-led buyouts, insights from a private equity perspective with Michael Koeppel. In his 30 years of experience, Mr. Koeppel has been exposed to a host of industries, but his primary focus is on technology, manufacturing, and service organizations. In 2001, he founded eCapital Financing, which specializes in assisting startups and challenged entities to obtain financing. Today, the firm works with a host of companies in both the Los Angeles and Western New York regions. While eCapital Financing currently focuses on investing in startup companies and projects, Lakelet Advisory Group LLC was funded and founded in 2012 to focus on challenged organizations in turnaround situations. Now, that's a ton of information, but welcome, Michael. We are so happy to have you here. So, how do venture capitalists or private equity or different buyers look at valuations differently than like your competitor or me who just wants to be an owner operator? Like, how do we know how to go get this money from these guys? Like, what are they looking for?
Well, as we talked about before, there's two sides to the coin. And on the other side, of course, we have the venture capitalists who start with the smaller entrepreneurs or the businesses going to the future. They look at it from a totally different, unique lens. First of all, you might as well throw EBITDA out the window. You're lucky if there is such an EBITDA. In most of the cases, it's even pre-revenue. So they're willing to take a higher risk. Now, of course, for that risk, they want more. And for them, they want more equity, or they want a higher premium or warrants associated to justify that risk. And the venture capitalists are willing today to recognize that 40% of their investments in 15 months are not worth the paper they're written on. They're willing to take that risk. That's the nature of their business. Ironically now, private equity is not that far behind. As of the latest ratios, 25% of private equity transactions are not getting their ROI back. And it's because there's been so much competition chasing these companies. It's just been crazy what premium the private equities have been paying for companies just to get companies. And I think a lot of it in the private equity world is they have the funds and got to use it or lose it. And realistically, if it was my personal money, you scratch your head and say, why the heck they buying this? Well, it's the end of the quarter and we got $24 million in our pot. Otherwise, we got to give it back to the investors. So we're going to take a swing at this one. Or they say, well, we'll buy this with the hope of getting another roll up that added on, and that never materializes, or they're paying a premium for that roll up. So they have different lenses in total, in the different risk, and also a different way of dealing with the companies. I find that most venture capital group, they are more interested in the management team and the product than anything else. They want to see who the jockey is, who's going to drive them to the promised land. Have you ever done a startup before? Have you done private equity? You really know the product. What's your network like? How many people can you call to help us? Where private equity is, although somewhat interested in that, but they're willing to put their management totally in place in day two. And in many times before the ink is dry on the contract, they got a new CEO and CFO sitting at the door. So from those perspectives, it's totally different. And also private equity, they might say, okay, we're going to ride this out for 5 to 10 years. Venture capital, that would be unheard of. I mean,
right.
Yeah, 36 months is a lifetime, a career for most of those people. So that's a totally different realm that they look at it from. And as I said, we started the conversation with, these are important factors when you do the business valuation. In the startup business valuation, it's everyone has the infamous hockey stick. You got to put in metrics to show that, and be realistic with the venture capital people. They know that 40% are just only 40% are going to succeed. And they're willing to accept that. Just be realistic and put that forth. There's one topic that we haven't discussed, which is important, is as a component of a pitch book, the business valuation, at least the summary should be in there. but a good pitch book should be like a good resume. Don't put in all superfluous stuff in there. A nice, simple thing to help you sell it, even if you know who the audience is. Let's keep it simple. You're going to turn it over to family members. At least put together a pitch book, map it out, put everything in writing, the good, the pros and cons. And you can even use that at a minimum to go help and finance the deal. And it also helps the attorneys put together the deal. That effort of putting together a good pitch book, I consider that as a roadmap. Put some time to put it together so everyone can see what it's like. So there's no surprises in there. And things change. Keep documenting the pitch book or roadmap accordingly. Don't circumvent that process because things change and you have to document it. And as I said, it can help you from everything from the lawyers to raising capital to managing the expectations of all parties. So you can know the slot, who's going to fit and where in the organization going down the road. So you're not having that debate after family members taking over the company.